Hi everyone.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to Comic Sense. I'm Arnel.
And I'm Kerwin.
Okay. So,
Ano lang, this is the first video that we're making actually. We the reason we were doing this video is we want to share our passion, and that passion is reading and
collecting comics.
collecting comics.
Actually, we started collecting comics during the 80s. I per se, nag-start ako sa elementary, I think, kasi binigyan lang ako ng magulang ko ng comics noon, and my brother is already collecting during that time. So, parang nainganyo ako. Aside from music, meron ding mga comics, ika nga. And toys during that time, hindi, kasi wala kaming pambili. Ngayon.
Ako naman, same time as Arnel, 80s din. But unlike Arnel, he was given comics. Ako, I was fascinated with superheroes. TV and kung saan-saan, stickers, nabibili mo.
And superheroes as in anime or...
Superheroes, Marvel and DC.
DC Marvel, okay.
DC Marvel.
Now, kasi during our time, di ba, mga Voltes 5, nag-start na yan.
Yeah, boom ng Japanese mecha culture sa Pilipinas.
Yeah.
And then best friend ako nung elementary na may comics. He was Philan. So may mga pinabasa siya sa akin, and that's how I started collecting and appreciating comics.
Okay. Ngayon, same kasi ako during that time naman, aside dun sa brother ko naman, may mga friends din naman ako sa school. Though ako nanghihiram lang sa kanila kasi sila yung mga elite group, ika nga. So, I think same tayo.
Same
tayo. Yun.
Sila so, yung may pambili. Which is mostly, yun naman ang maririnig mo sa lahat ng mga karamihan sa mga collectors, di ba?
Oo. Actually, kasi di ba, right now, we are collecting, aside from comics, may mga toys. Kapag marinig mo, bakit sila nagko-collect ng this and that? Kasi sasabihin nila, kasi nung bata sila, wala silang pambili. Pinagkait sila ng mga magulang nila. So, ngayon sila bumabawi kasi may pambili na sila.
Totoo yun. Frustrations natin yan nung bata tayo. Kaya ngayon, matanda na. Pero, namamolekta pa rin. It's a passion. It's something that you have to develop. Hindi naman siya pinili, hindi siya pinilit.
Sabi nga, there's a child in all of us. So, hanggang ngayon, bata pa kami.
We are teenagers. So, moving on, okay? So, this is our first review. First time lang namin sasabihin ito, we are not professional reviewers. We only want to share our enthusiasm with all of you. And with that enthusiasm, syempre, we have our own personal opinions about certain characters, certain publishers, certain comic books. Yun ang i-share namin sa inyo.
Yeah. And this is how we understand kung ano man yung nabasa namin. Hindi ko masasabi na kung ano yung opinion ko, opinion din ni Kerwin. Kasi pag minsan nagkakaroon kami ng discussions na yung sa kanya, gusto niya yung ganito, ako hindi.
Hindi naman kami laging pareho. There are actually numerous times na kami contrasting. Yung
most of the time.
Contrasting yung namin, yung opinion namin sa isang bagay about comic books or action figures o kung ano man, toys. That's why we decided na it's probably a good thing to share this with all of you kasi we don't share the same ideas all the time.
All the time. Okay, so moving on. The book that we're going to review is Batman 452 hanggang 454.
Yes.
So it's a story within a story dun sa Batman continuity ka nga. Yun. So ang pinaka-title niya is Dark Knight, Dark City. And
actually it's a story between the Batman monthly series.
Yes.
And ang sabi nga ni Arnel, Batman 452, 453 hanggang 454. And the story arc is called
Dark Knight,
Dark City. Now, just to progress with the review, ganito yung gagawin natin. We'll be First will be
Introducing the creative team.
A little background on the team that made the comic, and then we'll be giving you a short synopsis, probably. Or
Gist, ika nga, yun.
Short gist
Pero
of the story.
we're not going to spoil everything.
Mhm.
Kasi the purpose of this review is for you to read. Ika nga. Kasi we read the book since the way back pa, no? Nabasa na namin. And we reread the book. So, ganyan kami ka-passionate sa reading kasi na nagustuhan namin noon and tinatry namin kung may relevance pa siya today. Ika nga. So, yun yung pinaka-purpose namin. Kaya, no spoilers, siguro a bit. Pero, after that, you also need to read the book kasi sabi nga namin kanina, the reason for doing this is to share our passion in reading. Yun.
So, ayun, no? So, like I said, the first thing that we're gonna do is to give you the gist of the main story.
Creative team muna.
Creative team. Okay. So, creative team, ayan.
Creative team, no? First, kapag makita mo yung comics, ang makikita mo sa kanila, una-una is the cover. And the cover artist for that is Mike Mignola.
Okay.
So, we all know Mike Mignola, or us, we know kasi dito sa mga comic book aficionados, alam namin na si Mike Mignola is the creator of Hellboy. And we all know who Hellboy is kasi nagkaroon na siya ng 3 or 4 movies, I think. Tatlo, ayun. So, siya yung pinaka-creator ng and ang kanyang style kasi ng drawing is a bit gothic ang dating. So, which is tamang-tama pero dito sa pinaka-theme ng book na to.
So, si Mike Mignola,
yun.
he's actually the cover artist for all 3 issues. So, ito yung issue 1, no? So, yan.
Yan ang issue 1.
Okay.
Ayun.
Ito ang issue 2.
Yun.
Yan.
Issue 2.
And of course, issue 3.
Yan.
So as you can see, meron kaming comics dito, no? Pareho kami ni Arnel. We have these particular issues. May physical copies talaga kami. Kulang lang ako ng isa.
Ayun.
Anyway, moving on. Nasabi nga na si Mike Mignola is actually one of the more popular artists ngayon dahil may kilala na nga kayong mga creations niya, si Hellboy.
Si Hellboy.
And this was a time during the 80s na
80s,
nagbo-boom yung comics industry, and most writers and artists were making a name for themselves. Pero si Mike Mignola during that time was already this popular. Kino-commission na siya para gumawa ng mga covers ng iba't ibang sikat na comic book characters.
Aside doon, si Mike Mignola, siya ang isa sa mga creative team nga ng first Elseworld ng DC Comics. Elseworld movies, Elseworld na storyline, yun yung Gotham by Gaslight. Ayun, so isa siya sa mga creative team ng Gotham by Gaslight. Yun. So ganyan siya ka-popular during that time.
So if you're into dark, gritty art na maraming heavy lines, silhouettes, pick up a book na ginawa ni Mike Mignola or sinulat niya, or hindi sinulat. Siya yung nag-pencil. Kung ganun yung gusto nyo, gothic art, ayan, hanapin nyo yung mga stories na siya ang nag-pencil.
Nag-pencil, yeah.
So moving on,
for the writer naman, ang writer ng comic na yan ay ng story is Peter Milligan. He's one of the writers na ang tawag nga sa kanila during that time is during the 80s papuntang 90s. Sila yung nagkaroon ng parang British invasion sa DC Comics. Kasi majority ng mga writers ng DC, specifically dun sa DC Vertigo, na Vertigo line nila are mga British. Like Alan Moore, Neil Gaiman, yun nga, nabanggit namin, si Peter Milligan, Grant Morrison, yan, Garth Ennis. Yun.
Ano kasi yan yung term na British invasion, it's a reference to the original British invasion in music. details, di ba?
Oo.
Pero in different mediums, nagkaroon din ng British invasion. No? So, I believe the first British invasion sa comic books was about writers, tama?
About writers, oo.
Noong 80s and 90s. And Peter Milligan was one of
them.
those critical thinkers, critical writers. And this is one of his storylines na maganda.
Na maganda. Ayun.
And then, Peter Milligan, ano pa yung kasing mga ginawa niya?
Ang mga ginawa niya, mostly kasi nasa DC Vertigo kasi siya, no? So, isa sa mga ginawa niya, si Shade the Changing Man. So, hindi niya creation, nag-ano siya, nag-write siya ng a few stories dun sa kay Shade. And also, sa Hellblazer, starring John Constantine.
Okay. So, sa mga hindi nakakaalam.
Constantine pala, Constantine.
Sa mga hindi nakakaalam, no? Marami sa inyo ngayon, alam ninyo si Constantine or Constantine, John Constantine. May movie yan. Nagkaroon din ng series.
Nagkaroon ng series.
Pero sa comics, he was actually known as
The
initially
Hellblazer.
Hellblazer. So, if you want to read about him, pick up a Hellblazer comic from the 80s or the 90s. No? It's all about John Constantine. Anyway, I digress. Lumalayo tayo.
Oo.
Creative team, ayan. So,
Ayun, yung artist niya is Kieron Dwyer.
Kieron Dwyer.
Ayun. Kieron Dwyer, mostly ang mga pinapencils niya are Marvel. Kasi kilala siya sa Captain America and Avengers. Yun. So, mamaya, explain namin kung bakit swak si Kieron Dwyer sa storyline na to. Yeah.
So moving on, no, that was the creative team. Hindi na namin sasabihin yung iba. Yung importante lang naman is yung cover artist, writer, and penciler. Okay. So moving on to the story, no. So why did we choose this particular story to review? Dark Knight, Dark City. Well, there are a couple of reasons, no. Number one, lumabas lang this year yung Batman the movie. Starring, what's his name?
Starring Twilight.
Mr. Twilight. Pangalan nito. Nakalimutan ko na. Si Edward.
Si Edward.
Okay.
Yun.
Mamaya maisip din namin. Anyway, bakit yun ang pinili nilang storyline para dun sa Batman? No? Parang ni-reboot nila. Now, ang ginamit nilang villain doon is si Joker. The movie was about the detective skills of Batman. So,
Riddler.
Si
Riddler
ang ginamit nilang villain. So why did we choose this particular story arc? Yan. Why did we choose this particular story arc to review as our first review? It's in conjunction with the movie na kalalabas lang. Sa movie, nakita natin yung detective skills ni Batman. Kung gaano ka twisted siguro or ka cerebral or no.
Hindi, yung parang
si Riddler.
Parang ano siya, naging barbaric ba ang term doon?
Kung gaano siya ka-intelligent actually.
Actually, sige, later na lang.
Okay. So, the reason why we chose this comic book is because in this comic book, it's partly a reflection of the movie. Marami kayong makukuhang references dito about the personalities of our two main characters, no? Batman and Riddler. Sa movie, you will find out why Batman is considered by most as the world's greatest detective. And Riddler is one of the most intelligent, or if not the most intelligent villain in the Batman universe.
Well, that's beside Lex Luthor.
That's beside Lex Luthor in the Batman universe. So, this comic book will give you more insight on why those two individuals, those two characters, are considered the best in their particular fields.
Yes.
Okay?
And then, sa story tayo.
Story na tayo.
Ayun, the story actually starts with a flashback on a group of occultists, nga, doing a ceremony of the bath. Ayun.
Well, kung titingnan mo, no, yung pag binasa mo yung story, there are actually two congruent storylines taking place. Yung isa, yung mga flashbacks, and yung isa, yung current storyline na nangyayari kay Batman. So, The first storyline, na sabi nga ni Arnel, yung
This is
flashbacks.
flashbacks. So,
It's about the
a group of occultists nga.
group of occultists performing a ceremony.
A ritual for
ritual.
the ceremony of the bat.
Okay.
And noteworthy to mention na isa sa mga occultists na to, though yung isa pangalan niya Jacob Stackman, which is created for this specific storyline, ang isa sa mga key occultist ika nga na nandyan is si Thomas Jefferson, which we all know is the third US president and one of the signatories ng Declaration of Independence ng US.
So ano lang yan, that's just one of the little references na ginamit to, no?
Ika nga Easter eggs.
Easter eggs. Pero when we read that nung bata kami, di namin kagad nakuha eh. It was after a few years, doon lang namin nalaman, si Thomas Jefferson pala, si third president.
Yeah. Ayun.
So anyway, sabi ko nga, this is interspersed with the current storyline. And the current storyline starts off with some crimes being committed by the Riddler. And ang dating is parang nagpapahuli siya kay Batman.
Nagpapahuli siya. Intentional yun.
Intentional yun. He's giving Batman riddles to solve. And these riddles are
they each have their own reason naman kung bakit, di ba? As the story progress naman kasi, you will know naman na why Riddler are doing those specific crimes naman. Yung when we say 6 crimes yung ginawa nila dito during the course ng 3 story arc na to.
Yung 6 rituals.
6 rituals, yun ang 6 rituals ng ceremony of the bat.
So, ayun yung basic premise niya, no? The Riddler is actually trying to perform some ceremonies without Batman's knowledge. And si Batman, ang main subject niya doon sa mga rituals na yun. No, why is Riddler doing this? Malalaman nyo lang if you read the story of the flashbacks. Okay? So, dito mo makikita talaga yung relationship ni Batman at saka ni Riddler na as pusa't daga, cat and mouse.
Actually, nung unang basa ko dito, first 2 issues, wala akong idea kung bakit ginagawa. Though,
actually,
may flashback and then may yung present day na nangyayari cat and mouse nila. Pero makikita mo pagdating ng 3rd issue nito, doon mo makikita okay. Shit, that's
doon pa lang mag-umpisa yung
doon mo makikita
yung connection ng dalawang stories taking place, isang flashback at saka isang current storyline. And like we said, there was a flashback storyline about the occultists, and what Riddler was doing is yung rituals.
Yung rituals niya.
So, makokonek mo rin naman bandang issue 2 But the twist here is, what is the purpose? What is the purpose of Riddler in doing these rituals? Why Batman? Why did he choose Batman as the subject of the rituals? Yun ang kwento dito. And I have to say, Peter Milligan, galing ng pagkasulat.
Ang galing niya. And then, sabi nga kanina na isa sa mga reasons kung bakit kinuha namin ito, it's because of specific dating B or C lister na villain na naging nagulat ka kasi biglang naging deep ang naging niya, ang personality niya nag-iba.
Nag-180 si Riddler dito
Actually, as quoted from sinulat ko siya dito, as quoted from the book, Riddler, sabi nga ni Batman, Riddler has always been clever but never this barbaric. Ayun. Doon pa lang iisipin mo, bakit siya naging barbaric? We won't delve into anything na. You need to read the book. Kasi sabi nga namin, it's a spoiler-free review na ginagawa namin. So, we want you to read, ika nga. Though there are books nito na nasa online, you can you can read naman
We want you to learn for yourself kung bakit maganda yung comics. Bakit ini-endorse namin ang comics na to. We want you to appreciate comics the way you appreciate them. Kung ganun din naman yung mga gusto ninyo. And this is a special comics kasi this is a special storyline kasi dito nagumpisa yung descent
ng Descent into
Descent into Darkness ni Riddler. Dati ano lang siya, comedic villain. Ngayon, he became a very serious contender for the number one villain in the Batman mythos, in the Batman universe.
Why we say Descent into Darkness, no? Kasi after reading this, a few years siguro, di ba nagkaroon ng movie? Nung nagkaroon ng movie, nakasama si Mr. Twilight, magugulat ka, ang alam namin, si Riddler gagawa lang ng riddles. Bakit may ganyan? Aside doon, nagkaroon ng mga story arcs kasi sa Batman and Detective Comics after a few years, siguro during the 90s up to the early 2000s, ika nga. One is Nightfall, in which ito yung storyline na Bane breaks Batman's back. Yan, nandyan yan. Makikita mo na nandun si Riddler, medyo may pagka-dark na rin yung story na yon. And one more is yung Batman Hush by Jim Lee. Ayun. So makikita mo doon kung gaano manipulative at saka kung gaano ka-clever and intelligent si Riddler.
And kung gaano na siya ka-dark. Nag-iba na siya. Hindi na siya yung talaga eh. Hindi na siya yung C-lister.
Dati C-lister lang yan. Parang ika nga, he's a joke. Parang gano'n lang siya dati.
Parang punching bag lang dati talaga eh. Pero ngayon, he's a serious criminal na nag-iba na yung motive niya. And along the lines sa mga sinabi mo, siguro kailangan kong mag-brush up, pero tagal ko nang nabasa yung Batman Venom.
Oh yeah.
Batman Venom, si Riddler din ang ang main villain doon. And doon nyo rin makikita kung gaano na rin siya iba yung ugali, no? One of the most dangerous things is intelligence with a dark tinge.
Ayun. With a touch of darkness.
Yeah, touch of darkness, pare. Kakatakot.
Pero different siya sa intelligence with a touch of madness. Which we will delve on a different ibang review yon.
Ibang characters na
ibang character yon. And mag-comment lang kayo kung alam nyo kung sino yung binabanggit namin doon. Doon sa intelligence with a touch of madness.
So in terms of storyline, yun lang ang gusto naming sabihin sa inyo. We will not delve too much into the specifics of the story. Just for you to remember, this book is worth reading because it showcases the complexity in making intricate, dark, and cerebral stories. Ganyan kagaling si Peter Milligan. This is actually the first comic I read na naisip ko na pwede pala yung ganitong klaseng storyline sa comics.
True.
Noon kasi, noong 80s, when I was reading comics, ang alam ko lang is they're flashy, colorful, campy.
Campy sila yun.
Yung very superficial. Parang bata na nagbabasa ka lang ng Mighty Mouse.
Kasi before niyan, yung mga Batman stories, magugulat ka, meron silang nasa outer space, which is parang unusual para sa isang Batman and Robin na
may kalaban siyang aliens.
May kalaban na alien and
lagi siyang may baon na spray.
Shark repellent
spray. No, they were very campy. Pero during the 70s, nag-umpisa na yung transition into dark storylines. Pero this is probably one of those storylines that culminates into that transition to darkness. And this is one of the storylines that actually changed my mindset about comics.
True. Same.
Talaga, I remember this vividly nung binasa ko siya. I didn't understand it at first, pero I got the story. And it took me some more times to read it para makuha ko yung buong meaning, yung references, yung mga references nila sa text, yung references nila
kasi the first time
visually.
You read that, what age are we?
Basta elementary.
Ako elementary or something, parang gano'n. During that time, babasahin mo yung ganyan ka-deep, parang, what? What happened? Parang gano'n, hindi ka sanay na makabasa ng mga ganyan. So, siyempre, ang ginawa namin, after a few years, nire-read namin sila. So, doon namin nakukuha yung pinaka-concept ng, ika nga, hindi pa nga namin alam yung word na cerebral during that time. Pero gano'n na pala yung ginagawa sa amin.
At saka, you have to understand, nung nagbabasa kami ng comics, superficial nga.
Yeah.
Nung binasa namin ito, we were hoping to get a very, very explosive storyline, explosive comic issue about Batman. Pero nung binasa ko ganun siya, naintriga ako. Imbis na mawalan ako ng gana dahil di ko naintindihan, lalo ako naintriga. That's what we want all of you to develop. No? We want you to question what you are reading. Huwag lang naman sana yung nagbabasa kayo ng something na for lack of a better term, ulitin ko ulit, superficial, napakababaw.
At hindi na kami magbabanggit kung ano yung mga yun.
Marami.
Kasi marami.
From all publishers, maraming mga mabababaw na comics. And we want you to delve into those comics that may literary weight. Kung hindi man literary weight, may relevance.
Yun, tama.
Or may depth. May depth ang storyline. So, this probably is one of the best comics to start with if you're into those kind of comics.
And if you're into Batman.
And if you're into Batman, yung mga the art is superb. Ayun, that's one thing na hindi pa natin napag-usapan, no.
The art is sabi ko nga, there are two era dito sa mismong pelikula, dito sa may issue ito, dito sa may storyline na to. One is the flashback. And ganyan kagaling si Kieron Dwyer. Iniba niya ang style ng art niya dito sa flashback and the present day Batman cat and mouse nila ni Riddler. So nakuha niya kung paano yung pagiging ano bang tawag doon? Gothic era.
Gothic or hindi Renaissance eh.
Hindi naman.
Late 17th, early 18th century.
Victorian?
Victorian? UK yata.
UK, pero
US to. Anyway, ganun kagaling si Kieron Dwyer, no? He was trying to tell a story about two eras.
Yeah.
But his art, yung art na ginamit niya, in our opinion, tamang-tama lang para dun sa dalawang era na ginawa niya. Yung ginawa niyang contrast ng flashback as compared dun sa coloring
ng present day.
Ng present day. So, it's it fits the storytelling. The art fits the storytelling. That's why I think Kieron Dwyer is one of the most he's one of the underrated artists ng 80s.
Yeah, true.
Kasi kuha-kuha niya. You could even compare his art with some of the more contemporary and popular artists during that time and during this time. One thing hindi pa pala natin nasabi, no? If you are going to judge the art, don't be too harsh.
Yeah.
Kasi compared to
the present day artists na meron tayo ngayon, katulad nila, yung alam naman, Big Seven, ng Image, kung sino sila, siguro sa kanila kasi more on hyper-realistic na yung mga nila.
Yung ngayon. Yung ngayon kasi there's the assistance of technology.
Yeah.
Kaya yung mismong art ngayon, it's too perfect. Sabi nga nila, hindi na marumi. Malinis yung coloring, malinis yung pencils. Pero yung art noon, it's actually hand-painted art. So ito, si Kieron Dwyer, if you're gonna compare his art today with the art being produced in comics today, you might even say it's outdated.
Yeah.
Pero you have to
understand naman na everything na the artist is what the artist is doing then, kasi mostly it's pencil talaga, through hand. Ngayon kasi mostly may technology tayo, and yung coloring mabilis kasi nga lahat digital. Digitized lahat sila. So you have to understand how hard it is to do pencils before, specifically yung coloring niya tsaka yung shadings niya.
True.
You know?
Tsaka you have to appreciate that talaga. You have to give them credit. Kasi anyone with the best app ngayon, makakapag-drawing na, makakapag-color na, ng sariling comics nila. App lang yan. Application or program lang yan. Pero noon, pure talent talaga. Pure talent. And Kieron Dwyer, like I said, is underrated, and you could even compare, or you can even say that there are so many artists na patterned their style dun sa style ni Kieron Dwyer noong 80s. May mga may mga similarities siya.
Yeah.
Pero na yun, incidental na lang yung similarities na yun. They have contemporaries nung panahon na yun na pare-pareho silang nag-start. So, hindi mo maiwasan na may mga similarities sila.
So, if ever, ikaw, I-rate mo yung art ni Kieron Dwyer.
Sige na, dalawang rating ang ibibigay ko. No? Overall art ni Kieron Dwyer as an artist, I would say, mahilig kasi ako sa dark eh. So, bibigyan ko siya ng 8.
8.
Kasi yung art niya is heavy lines, dark lines, heavy silhouettes, hindi colorful.
Hindi siya colorful.
He only used probably a total of 5 to 6 colors lang sa mga pages na to. So, overall as an artist, I'd say 8. Pero for this storyline, I would say probably 9. Kasi kuhang-kuha niya yung yung translation nung text into visual art. Para sa akin. That's my opinion. Ikaw pare.
Ako, sa story ni Peter Milligan, kasi alam nyo naman, since the 80s, 90s, I've been reading comic books kasi I know kung sino yung mga writers na magagaling at saka hindi masyadong magaling, ika nga. And one of those magaling naman, si Peter Milligan. Kasi I've been reading his Hellblazer, may mga nabasa rin ako na Shade, though Shade medyo mahirap basahin. Ika nga, cerebral ang pinag-uusapan, super cerebral yon.
Sinubukan ko na noon si Shade. Tinigilan ko rin kagad. Kasi
exactly.
hindi pa napapanahon na basahin ko siya noon.
And same rate, 9 ako dito sa story niya. Kasi siguro may mga may improve pang konti. A few pa siya. Or siguro sa point ko naman, nabitin ako kaya binigyan ko siya ng 9. Kasi gusto ko siya. Ayun. As for the art naman, I could give it around an 8 to 8.5. I like the art, gusto ko siya. Though may pagka-bias lang ako sa ibang mga artist naman kasi na I think sana si Mike Mignola isa sa mga gumawa rin sa loob. Let's say Kieron Dwyer present, Mike Mignola siya yung sa flashback.
Pwede.
Diba?
Pwede.
If ever, ganda nun.
Capture kasi si Mike Mignola, his art is more about the gothic dark periods.
Yeah.
Kaya kung ibibigay mo sa kanya yung mga flashbacks, lalo na yung mga era na medyo kailangan ng solid lines sa pag-drawing, sa art, patok na patok si Mike Mignola. So yeah, kaya nga hindi mo siya pwedeng bigyan ng perfect na rating.
Pero
kasi,
if ever, perfect sana
Pwede,
yun.
pwede
Mignola, siya yung naging
Actually, there are some artists na pwede rin siguro nilang gamitin dito.
Yeah.
Nasabi ko kanina, sino pa ba yung mga artist na alam mo medyo tugma yung art niya kay Kieron Dwyer?
Aparo.
Jim Aparo, pwede rin. Norm Brayfogle. Pwede rin siya.
Ang problem lang kasi kay Brayfogle, which is, lagi kasi namin na pag-uusapan yan, yung mga artists and writers. Isa sa mga problems kasi sa kanya is yung yung colorist niya masyadong colorful.
Yeah. At
Typical Brayfogle na yan.
At saka hindi sila solid shading yung sa kanila eh. Hindi sila mahilig dun sa mga lines or feathery. Yun ang kailangan mo pag ang tansya ko sa storyline na may flashbacks. Kailangan mo na may contrast yung art dun sa art nung current storyline.
True.
Iba dapat eh. So there were so many artists noon na pwede rin nilang gamitin. And ako personally, okay na si Kieron Dwyer.
Actually, okay na si Kieron Dwyer.
Pero they could have done better.
Yeah.
Maraming artists doon. Hindi ko lang alam kung mura sila o mahal.
Which we don't know, di ba? During that time.
Probably si Mike Mignola, kaya covers lang. Kasi mahal siyang mag-commission ng buong comic. No? Pero yun nga, in terms of storyline, nga pala, medyo biased ako eh. I've been a Batman fan. So,
me too.
Kaming dalawa ni Arne, we've been Batman fans since 80s. So, I would like to give the storyline 10. Pero sabi nga ni Arnel, it has some aspects dun sa story na pwede pa nila siguro na tweak, na improve.
Actually, we can say isang flaw na namin doon. Kasi okay lang bang banggitin na natin?
Sige, pare.
Spoiler, yan. Yung part nung yung dance macabre. Yun. May mga automatons doon, which is pag nakita mo, sana hindi na lang itong ginawa niya.
So, Dance Macabre, the Dance of Death.
Dance of Death, yun.
So, may nangyari
part siya ng, isa siya doon sa mga 6 rituals na ginawa nila dito.
So, may part doon kasi na para sa amin, during that time, parang hindi pa siya technologically appropriate.
Oo nga, no? Kasi ano pa yan, no? 80s,
80s,
90s, no?
diba?
Parang,
Pero syempre, you have to understand, comics
comics
ito.
pa rin yan.
So, nung 70s, may robot na nga sila. Tayo, wala pa. So, yun lang naman eh. Pero,
bigyan na natin sa kanila.
bigyan na natin sa kanila. Batman kasi has always been a comic that is not too much of a superhero.
Yeah.
As much as possible, inaalis yung superhero element.
Grounded siya.
Grounded siya. Kaya nga, when we read Batman comics as much as possible, hinahanap namin yung humanity, yung the hero without the super.
Yeah.
Laging ganun yung hinahanap, expect namin pag Batman comic ang binabasa. So anyway, no, that's our personal ratings.
Personal ratings,
Sa art and the story niya. Now, this comic's actually notable for some firsts, di ba?
Yeah, actually, nung binabasa nga namin siya, and then if you are an old reader and a current reader, ika nga, ng Batman, makikita mo kung ano ang ibig namin sabihin doon. First, it's the first appearance of the Demon Barbatos. Ika. Barbatos, ika nga, siya yung pinag-uusapan dito sa storyline na to, and siya yung pinaka-villain, ika nga, sa new story arc na nangyari na ginawa ni Scott Snyder dun sa Batman Death Metal.
Death Metal.
Ayun. So
sa mga young readers ngayon, I'm sure familiar kayo sa Death Metal.
if you're reading Batman,
If you're reading comics right now, Batman particularly, maraming laruan na lumabas.
yeah, true.
So, kung alam nyo, kung sino yung main villain doon, si Barbatos. Pero eto ang actual first appearance
niya as a demon.
As a demon.
As a demon, yeah.
So, yun ang isa sa mga reasons kung bakit key issue itong series na to. Now, the second is the headstones.
The headstone.
Okay.
Yeah, the headstone.
So, if you've been a reader of the Batman comics, Detective, Batman, Dark Knight, Shadow of the Bat, and somewhere along those storylines, nakita nyo si Batman, nandun siya sa mausoleum ng parents niya. And nakita nyo tatlo yung headstones na nandun. Bakit tatlo?
One is Thomas.
Thomas Wayne. Pangalawa, si Martha Wayne. Yung pangatlo, bakit tatlo ang headstones na nandun? Now, if you read this comic, you will instantly know what that third headstone is, who that third headstone is for. And malalaman nyo na yung lahat ng mga visual references na nakita nyo yun. We're not gonna tell you who, we're not even gonna tell you why there's a third headstone. Read the comic. You will definitely appreciate it if you are a Batman fan. And if you know all of those storylines, kung saan lumitaw yung tatlong headstones na yun.
Which is sana, makikita nyo kung bakit hindi na kayo mag-iisip kung saan nanggaling yung third na yun. Ayun.
Pero if you are familiar with that and binasa mo to, you will definitely appreciate it.
Yeah.
Ma-appreciate nyo sorry. Bawal pala tayo sa mga yung sasabihin mo, F you. Ganun pala.
Grolix na lang yun.
So, ayun, those are probably some of the Easter eggs. So,
actually, kanina, nabanggit ko rin, si Thomas Jefferson, di ba? Which is nandito sa storyline na to. Nabanggit ko na rin, siya yung third president ng US, and then isa sa mga signatories ng Declaration of Independence ng US. And one more Easter egg dito. We all know kung ano ang nangyari during the 60s ba to? 70s? Or 50s, I don't know. Regarding
gusto mo sabihin 50s.
Ayun,
pero I'm not sure.
Parang sa comic industry, kaya bawat comics during the 80s and 90s, hindi ko na sasabihin yung 2000 kasi medyo natigil na siya during that time, may makikita kayo na Comics Code Authority. Ika nga, siya yung pinaka nandito sa pinaka-top na to ito.
Ayun.
Parang,
ayan.
Yan yung Comics Code Authority.
Sa upper right corner.
And one of the trigger points ika nga on why the Congress of United States nagkaroon ng Comics Code Authority is because of a certain book na ginawa ni Dr. Frederick Wertham.
Mhm.
Seduction of the Innocent ang title nun, which elaborates or discusses yung effects ng comics doon sa mga bata, doon sa mga children.
Basically, yung librong yun, no, in our terms ngayon, it bashed the comics industry noon. Kasi, sabi nila, it was one of the reasons that caused mental decay doon sa mga readers, sa mga followers ng mga comic books nung panahon na
At
yun.
saka kung bakit na-cancel ang mga comics.
Oo nga. Actually,
Cancel culture.
muntik nang natigil yung comics industry noon dahil sa Comics Code Authority, dahil dun sa librong Seduction of the Innocent.
Of the Innocent.
Now,
And
why are we saying this?
kasi merong isang scene dito na nasa library sila. And then, isa sa mga pinocus talaga dito is yung book ng Seduction of the Innocent. Kasi, I'm guessing lang. Ngayon ko lang naiisip ito. Na parang, bago mo basahin tong storyline na to, note na may something dito na parang hindi siya pwedeng pambata. Makikita mo dito kung bakit hindi siya pwedeng pambata. Itong pinaka-storyline ito. Kaya nga naging cerebral siya, kung bakit naging from clever to barbaric. Ika nga naging from an intelligent person na who delved into darkness, ika nga yung karang ganun. So, yun yung pinaka-purpose kung bakit bakit nilagay ang specific book na yon of all.
Kaya, siguro kung babasahin nyo to, no? Ang isa sa mga pwede nyong gawin, or isang challenge para sa inyo, hanapin nyo kung nasa yung book na yun, yung reference na yun. It's just a visual reference, pero pag nakita nyo, and kung alam nyo yung background ng ng Comics Code Authority at saka yung relevance ng book yun, you would actually appreciate the smaller details of the art. Okay? And pinag-usapan natin kanina to, this is for mature readers. It's not even, hindi siya pwede sa mga bata eh.
Which is kami nagbasa ng bata.
Oo. Hindi naman namin sinasabing hindi pwede. Pero at very young age, hindi mo talaga ma-appreciate yung story na to. Kung hindi mo lang siya babalikan or kung hindi mo lang siya binasa dun sa edad na naiintindihan mo, hindi mo makukuha yung kwento.
And can we say na may graphic violence siya or something?
Actually,
a bit, no?
Meron siya. Pero yung if you were to compare yung sinasabi sa Seduction of the Innocent, this is a very illegal comic, actually. Diba? If you were going to follow the guidelines ng Comics Code Authority based dun sa librong Seduction of the Innocent, ang librong ito hindi papasa. Bagsak na bagsak ito in terms of art. Kasi may mga scenes na hindi naman graphic, pero they are very, very suggestive.
True.
Suggestive of violence. Meron nga, parang may naalala ko may blood eh.
No, may pagka-graphic din.
Meron pagka-graphic din. Yun
lalo
nga
na yung sa bata.
Oo. Pero hindi naman actually pinakita.
Kasi
Pero
masyadong na yun.
Masyado ng gory siguro.
Tsaka masyadong below the belt na yun, di ba?
Pero in itself, ang kabuuan ng mga comics na to, hindi sila papasa sa Comics Code Authority. So ayun, no? Well, to wrap it all up.
So, this book is a good book. We ask you na you try it, or any other Batman na mga comics naman are very good naman. Pero if you want to try, kasi yung during that time, during the 80s and the 90s, magaganda yung mga stories within the stories. Ika nga. Ang tawag kasi dito sa mga ganito ay the series within a series.
Kasi parang parang TV series nanood ka. Tapos meron silang
may story arc sila sa loob.
May dalawang episode na eto lang ang story, pero it's also part of the main
of the whole
series. So
Parang.
ganito rin 'yon. It's a story within a story. And also this had a very powerful impact sa aming dalawa. Kaya it's the first book na ni-review namin. But we're not saying na ito dapat ang unang-una niyong basahin. Feel free to pick up any comic book. Basahin ninyo kung sino man character ang gusto niyo. Basahin ninyo and don't just read it. Try to internalize the art. I-compare ninyo or i-analyze ninyo yung art kung tugma ba siya dun sa storyline na binabasa ninyo. The important thing is magbasa po tayo.
Yes.
It may not be a comic book. It may be something else. Ano pa ba? Madaming medium ngayon eh.
Actually, madami. We only started dito sa isang mainstream na comic book. Pero we will do other mainstream na comic books din and
Mhm.
some independent din.
Mhm.
Kasi sabi nga namin kanina, may pagka-indie kami when it comes to dun sa reading ng mga comic book, not just yung mga ano. And gusto namin yung mga nag-iisip, yung mga cerebral.
Oo.
Pero gusto rin namin yung mga mabababaw.
Oo naman.
Pagmisa.
Paminsan hinahanap ko rin yung mga pow bang.
Mga power. Camping!
Campy ba? Oo ba? Lalo na pag comedic character ang
Yeah.
binabasa mo, like si Hitman. No?
Si Hitman.
Marami yan eh.
Yeah.
Pero yun na nga, start reading.
And this is our first one. This is our first review naman. And then, expect more. Marami pa kaming mga re-reviews. Marami
Sa
kaming
dami na
mababasa.
ng mga nabasa namin collectively, sometimes may mga binabasa na siya na sinasabi niya sa akin na binabasa ko. Ako, I mostly konti na lang yung nababasa ko, siya ang mas marami. Pero I still dabble with reading. So maybe if you have any particular storyline na gusto nyo i-review namin, feel free.
Feel free to comment dito sa comment section natin. And then, and also, please, we would like to ask you to please like, share, and subscribe dito sa channel namin na Comic Sense. Though, if ever, this is our first naman, and then, you will be the first. And after, a certain, kapag naka-reach tayo, may target kasi kami, na once na maka-reach kami ng, let's say, ito gawin natin muna. Maka-reach tayo ng 100 subscribers, magra-raffle kami ng something na ibibigay namin dun sa isa sa mga subscribers namin.
Siyempre.
Ayun.
I mean,
Siyempre, comic book ang ibibigay namin.
Pwede rin naman siguro. I mean,
Sabagay, any merchandise.
any
related
merchandise.
naman.
We also have collectively, we have a vast collection of action figures. So,
Yeah.
pwede rin siguro.
Pwede naman. Sige, gawin natin. Sige. Yun.
Who knows?
O sige, ganito. First 100 subscribers, gagawin natin isang comic book at saka isang merchandise.
Sige.
Yun.
Pwede.
First. Okay sa'yo. Ayun.
Basta huwag lang yung mga rare.
Ayun.
Anyway, we're just starting this up now. We want to share this with you and we want to encourage everyone. And this is one way, yung pagpaparaffle namin, no? It's one way to encourage you to develop the passion for reading.
True.
Sana it's helped us with so many things, no? Vocabulary namin nung mag-aaral, nakatulong din sa amin talaga yung nagbabasa ng comics. So nung panahon namin it was frowned upon, hindi siya mainstream.
Hindi siya mainstream. As in, kapag tinawag ka dati na nagbabasa ng comics, nagti-t-shirt naman something na ganito.
Ano ka nun? Outcast
ka. Bubuli ka na.
Pero ngayon,
hindi siya fad eh.
Hindi, it's
a thing na.
It's the thing. It's culture.
It's
pare.
culture na, ika nga.
It's nasa forefront siya ng ng popular culture natin talaga ngayon. Kaya don't be stagnant in one particular part of the popular culture right now. No? Comics, malalim ang history dito. Magbasa kayo. You will probably even appreciate comics more than the movies that are coming out right now kasi nakukuha ninyo kung saan sila nanggagaling.
True. And then, comic books are not children's books anymore.
They are not. Definitely.
Ayun.
Wala na nga Comics Code Authority yung iba ngayon.
And again, we would like you to please like,
Share,
and subscribe dito sa channel namin. And then, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I hope we made some comic sense for everyone.
Okay?
Okay?
Okay, we're good?
We're good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.